Hello everyone, this is Yasser Elite, and in today's video I am making a version 2 of the Retro Cup. I know I made a video about this last season, but I kind of update the teams that were mostly used in the last cup, because I remember like the teams were like supposed to be this XYZ, and then like a couple of new Pokemons came in and changed kind of the meta. So I am making like kind of a version 2 of the Retro Cup. Without further ado, let's just go and watch and talk about the Retro Cup meta. So the Retro Cup meta, basically no Dark, no Steel, no Fairy types. I think those are like mostly the used types beside Water in every cup. And the CP limit is 1500, which means it's a Great League format. So basically anything except those in Great League would be good. I know, easy take, like, oh, I guess Walrein would be too good. Yeah, Walrein's could be too good in this cup. You know what, let's just talk about the main Pokemons in this cup that were used by everyone. Leads. Lapras is a good lead. Altaria is a good lead if you can dodge the eyes. And there is no Fairy, no Steel, so technically nothing can wall Altaria. Snorlax is decent. Shadow 1. Trevenant is decent just because Trevenant is always decent, like having one of the best fast move pressure, one of the best fast moves, if not the best fast moves in the game, and a decent coverage with a baiting move plus one of the best nuke moves in the entire game, Shadow Ball. Counter swaps are basically the Pokemons that like can RPS you to the win with like whenever you swap something that is very meta. As an example, if you safe swap a Walrein, you counter that swap with Regirock, right? And then Regirock just destroy the Walrein, as an example. But nothing destroy Walrein that much. If they safe swap Frostlass, you safe swap a Shadow Marowak, you can farm them all the way down. If they safe swap a Greedent, you safe swap a Medicham, that's kind of a tough matchup. So those kind of like decent counter swaps. I don't recommend using them, but they are fine to use, especially if you want your opponent to top left in the swap. They are good to use. Because my favorite type are the generalists. Those Pokemons that are good everywhere and they don't care about the typing, they don't care what you have, they can blindly use them in the lead, in the swap, or in the back, it doesn't matter. Walrein, Cress, Lickitung, Pachirisu if you have one, if you live in Canada. I myself have one. I think I might drop a video about with a team with Pachirisu. Deoxys Defense and Greedent being a non-XL option that beat most of the XLs and beat most of the meta. As an example, Greedent can beat Walrein, can beat Deoxys Defense, can beat Lickitung, can beat Cress, and can beat Frostlass. It's actually a decent Pokemon. Like, you don't need to spend that much dust on building this Pokemon. You just get it. And I believe it's kind of rare because it spawned only for 5 days, then it never spawned after. You know what, let's just rate those leads based on the good and bad. Trevenant, S tier. Lapras, not S, but like almost there. This thing is just too frail, but it was too good because it beat most of the stuff that were being used. Same for the Snorlax. You don't like you're not that great, but you beat most of the stuff that are meta with correct baiting, nuking, boost potential, like anything. You just like destroy it. Among all of these, I think Shadow Marowak, I'm talking about the Shadow one, is the best Pokemon here. Like, Medicham is always good, but the thing is, there is DD, so much DD in this cup, there is so many Frostlass, so it might not perform as you want it to, and there is Regirock, which is too huge in this cup. The problem with Coffin is that it just gets destroyed by normal type, and normal type is a main type in this cup. Jellicent, same, it just gets destroyed by normal type. And people don't use ghosts that much. It's like here, Trevenant is being used just because Trevenant has very decent coverage that covers everything. Generalist, I would say Lickitung is the best Pokemon here. Second is Walrein. Third is Greedent. Frostlass here like in between first and second. Cress and DD are too good, but I like Pachirisu more, so I would give Pachirisu more rating because it can beat it beats Frostlass, it beat Walrein, it can beat Lickitung, and it beat Greedent. So those are kind of the best. How do you build your team? You can choose one from those, or one from those, or you choose one of these and 2 of these here, depend on your playstyle. Anti-meta Pokemons. Nidoqueen is good, but it doesn't reliably beat anything here because Walrein is just the main Pokemon and Walrein destroy Nidoqueen. Lantern is good. just because it beats the ice and the water and the flyers, and those are like kind of like the main stuff in the meta. Icy cat, no, icy, no, it's not icy. Snowy cast form. It's below average. It's just a bad Walrein that you don't have, and you don't have a good IV Pokemon off because it's only spawned in the snowy weather, which only exists in specific part of the woods. Licky Licky is just a bad Lickitung. Don't use it. I mean, you can use it, but don't expect good result while using it. Munchlax is also a bad Lickitung, bad Greedent. Zapdos is kind of a spicy Pokemon that sweeps. Like, if Zapdos get a good... If Zapdos get to a point where Zapdos has shield up a shield, Zapdos can sweep teams, and I saw Zapdos killing 3 Pokemons. Shadow Gyarados is literally my favorite among these. I double Elite TM'd a Shadow Gyarados last season, and I think I will be using it this season as well. I was playing Pachiriso Greedent with Shadow Gyarados, and I love that team. That team was actually good. But the last season there was no elo, so you cannot trust teams when in no elo season. Como is good, but I think that his son, like the second one, is bulkier, much bulkier, and I think slightly better just because of the extra bulk. It does have a bad move called Brick Break, but most of the damage comes from Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw, because technically nothing resists the Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw in this cup. Oranguru, or I don't know this Pokemon name, has a decent typing. Like, having Psychic plus Normal mean you don't anymore lose to Ghost, so you can beat the Ghost. So it's the Psychic type that beats the Ghost. DD is a horrible matchup though, but overall I think it can beat most of the stuff, especially if you sneak in a Confusion. Dugong is the most annoying Pokemon in the game. It's too good, but I'm not gonna give it too high rating just because I hate it. Vigoroth is a bad Lickitung / bad Greedent. Dragonair, I don't like it that much. It just doesn't do enough damage, and it doesn't have that much of a good stab charge moves, so that's why here. This Pokemon here doesn't lack the bulk, so it's tough to use. So the only way to use it if you are playing Triple Dragons, and always if you are playing Triple Dragons team, you need a Gyarados and you need a Kingdra, because those two don't lose to Frostlass. So make sure to use those two plus any of these dragons as a third. Beedrill is kinda spicy, same for normal cast form. And I think I believe I will be making a normal cast form team in the Retro Cup, because I have one build and I would like to use it. Like, I spent so much dust, imagine not using it. Moving on to the top teams, the best team according to PvPoke is Trevenant, Walrein, Lickitung. Do I need to talk about the team? I don't think so, because this team is dominant even in Open Great League. You can literally use this team in Open Great League. As long as they don't have a Scrafty, you can beat everything. A core breaker to this team is literally Lickitung itself, that's it. You can say Greedent is tough, but it's manageable, because Walrein can beat it. Trevenant isn't that bad, because technically you can do damage from your charge moves. Lickitung doesn't beat Greedent reliably, but it's a fine matchup. My favorite team is this. Shadow Gyarados with a Greedent, Frostlass. You can say you can add this as well with Shadow Gyarados, and you can add this Pokemon as well. So the main two are Gyarados, Greedent, and you can choose a third, like one of those three. Gyarados, Greedent with one of those three. That's those two together are my favorite core in this cup. They don't beat anything, but most likely people don't see them that much, to the point like people, okay, there is so many Greedent, but people don't see Shadow Gyarados that much, so they don't know what to do, and they don't react properly. Also, they always react in late. It's like, which gives an advantage to Gyarados for like having, you know, like Gyarados has a very high attack plus the shadow bonus, plus if the opponent like become late on the swap or gets late on the swap or swaps later, you can always win these games, just because Gyarados can just choose your way to win. A tough Pokemon for this team, I think it was Trevenant. Tough, but it's manageable because all of those three can beat it except Pachiriso. This can beat it, and Shadow Gyarados can just double shield and Dragon Tail all the way down. You can also grab a shield by throwing a crunch, but overall it should be manageable. I complain about meta. It's not an adequate team. It's just like the team that you can, you know, like, okay, I need a go-to team that beats everything. Yeah, this is the team that beats everything. Deoxys defense, Walrein, by the way, chat, Walrein can beat Frostlass straight Witherball, Icicle Spear. So if you play that matchup, you know, and you want to bully your opponent, go straight Icicle Spear. Those 4 are just the best 4 Pokemons. Frostlass comes after. You can choose the 3 of those 4. I think you need DD. DD is kind of a must because those 3 are weak to counter users, and this thing beats counter users. Those 3 beat Shadow Claw users. This doesn't, so this is kind of a must to make the team work. What is a tough team? A tough thing for this Pokemon? I think that the worst case scenario for this team is same team in different order, like having Licky versus DD or Greedent versus DD, and then having DD versus Walrein. Or just a Frostlass with a Greedent in the back is also tough for this team to beat. But DD runs, if you're running DD in this cup, make sure to run Rock Slide because you need it for the Frostlass matchup. Also gives you a better Lickitung matchup, and the one which you lose if you don't have Rock Slide. So if you're playing Retro Cup, I remind you now, go and TM Deoxys defense to Rock Slide instead of Thunderbolt. Also, it helps you out to beat Altaria. So that's many. There is many reasons to run Rock Slide. I don't think you need Thunderbolt on Deoxys defense in the Retro Cup. BBML team, double normal. Frostlass, double normal. Basically, those are, you know, top 5 Pokemons. You just pick 3 and make an ABB team. You use this to bait out the DD so the Greedent can sweep. You also use those 2 to beat the Walrein or the swap in case they have a Walrein lead. Since Frostlass doesn't reliably beat Walrein unless you run Hex, but I don't recommend Hex in this cup because you need you need the part of the snow damage to be able to beat the dragons. Other than that, you won't be able to beat the dragons. A tough Pokemon for this team, I think Como is the worst because Como can Dragon Tail in the 2, can Dragon Tail down Frostlass in the 2, and can nuke those 2 with 1 close combat. So it's tough, but it's manageable always. That's why you always should save your Frostlass whenever you're playing this team and you use one of those normals as a sack swap, where you swap it just to bait out the counters, so the second one can be safe, and you save it to catch, like use one of those 2 to catch a move always. You need one of those 2 to be used as a shield. Is this the same team? No. Another 3 meta stuff team. Look at this. You just, if you don't want to be that weak to DD, you can just run DD, you know, instead of one of the normals. I recommend DD over Lickitung instead of Greedent because you kind of need a Greedent. It's the spammiest, most annoying Pokemon because with Lickitung, it's very bulky, but it doesn't have same charge move pressure as Greedent. The Greedent is good at getting shields down because it's very spammy. Like a move, 3 fast moves, 3 fast moves, 3 fast moves a move, then 3 fast moves a move, then 3 fast moves a move, then 2 fast moves to get to a move. That's scary sometimes because it can throw you off if you're not counting. A budget team in this cup, a budget team is a team that doesn't have any XL Pokemon, any legendary Pokemon. So no legendaries, no XLs. I think this is the best budget team you can run. You don't need any XLs, you don't need any legendaries. You can beat the biggest boys in this cup, which is DD and Lickitung, because technically Frostlass beat Lickitung in the 0 if you have a good IV. Frostlass is straight Avalanche. This thing can beat Lickitung. This thing might lose, might win, depend on shielding the Power Whip or not shielding it. So if you shield it, you just win. If you don't shield it, you might not win. Another team was suggested to me by Signal. Signal is one of my teammates in Elite TM. We have a faction team. We do self-content. So he suggested to me this team because he got like a rank 10 Regirock from a random trade, and he wants to use it. And his best team to use Regirock, I think you kind of need the Frostlass to beat the Deoxys defense and counter users. And he plays ABB teams, so he needs something to beat out the counter users. And no one's better than Lickitung in doing that. Why? Because it's very bulky, it can tank moves, and it can flip the matchups versus its own counters as long as they don't resist Lick. Not a budget team. You know, like this was a budget team. Now, not a budget team. 3 legendaries, straightforward. 3 are legendaries, and 2 of them are unobtainable if you didn't play the event. Like, you can't trade the Eox's defense, and if you don't have a Shadow Zapdos, if you didn't play back when it was in the Team Rocket, you don't have it, and you won't be able to get it. So 2 are unobtainable. This is the most expensive team. Regirock, because you have to have 1 from 2019, which I think I have 1, but it's like very bad IV. So 3 stuff that are almost unobtainable. Is it a good team though? Maybe, I don't know. But that was like a flex team, you know, better than like those rare shiny teams you use. You can just run those 3 and enjoy flexing on poor opponents that don't have it. A spicy team that was suggested to me by Jimmy from Ballot. He's a YouTuber, and he does play his battles sometimes in my Discord, sometimes in Softoff's Discord. Make sure to check him on YouTube at Jimmy from Ballot. He does lots of fun content, like some treble dancer teams. Like, he has some creative ideas to do some fun content. Make sure to check his YouTube channel. Sorry, I didn't have the link because when he sent me the team, I was like about to record it, so I didn't have the time to finish. So his team is Beware with Gradient and Oranguru. So technically this is kind of a non-XL team, not very expensive team. Also obtainable. Well, this thing doesn't spawn. This thing spawns rarely. This thing had a CD. So I think it's kind of unobtainable if you played the game the last 3 months. It's a fun team to use. It has a nuke potential from Beware here, having the Shadow Claw superpower. That thing is very spammy and very quick to get. Now moving to the Degen teams. The first Degen teams is Triple Normal. Normal is a broken type in this cup because counter users are only DD, and DD here there is like couple stuff that can beat DD in this cup. Like as an example, this thing gets to 2 Night Slashes and hits so hard from Shadow Claw plus the charge moves, and if it gets the boost, it can sweep teams. Same for the Gradient. Lickitung can also almost beat Deoxys defense, depending on what Deoxys defense is running. But this team lose to 1 Midget Champ. Yeah, 1 Midget Champ can sweep the entire team. Wait, where we at? Another triple same typing team is Triple Ice, because Ice is another broken type in this cup because there is no steel, right? And counter users are kinda not the greatest because there is some bulky Pokemons that are making it difficult to run Spice. You can literally run this Triple Ice because one of those Ice double resist counter because it has the the Ghost subtyping. I recommend this team. It's fun to use. And unique. Another unique team with triple Pokemon from the same typing. Triple dragons. There is 2 dragons here. There is 2 dragons here that take neutral damage from ice. So those are kinda must, and you need to choose one of those for the dragons here as your third, depend on what you have or what you can run or what you enjoy. Walrein is tough, but believe me, it's manageable. I played if you can sneak a Dragon Tail from Gyarados on Walrein, you can win. Another triple one thing from the same thing is triple counter team. It's manageable, playable in this cup as long as you have a Vigoroth. Vigoroth is must here. It's the glue that can stick the team together because it resists, double resist Shadow Claw damage. Those 2 has Night Slash, which does super effective damage to the ghosts, aka Trevenant, and can get 2 moves if you shield, which will help you to win this game. But Trevenant is very tough for this team to beat. Since Vigoroth, yeah, double resist, but it can't do any damage to hurt the Trevenant. I talked about this team in last video, but I still think it's usable. I can't even count to 5. You guys know Frosty? Yeah, he can't even count to 5. He just throw the move that pops on his phone screen whenever he wants to throw a charge move. So here, 5 seconds to a charge moves. 5 seconds to a charge move. He struggles with Lickitung, but it's 6 seconds to a charge move. But the third one is 5.5, which make it easier for him to do. Pokegain's team. Pokegain's team is basically he's gonna run this Pokemon plus 2 stuff. He keeps changing them, so I didn't have the full team. I mean, probably because when I was watching him playing this team, I didn't pay attention to his battles or his team, or what he was tapping the screen. He's a very entertaining streamer. Make sure to check him out. Like look, I think he's in the top 3 or in the top. I think he's the streamer I watch the most, and I still don't know his team. See, guys, how much he's an entertainer, how much of an entertainer he is. I didn't even know. I still don't know what is his last 2 Pokemon because I wasn't paying attention to his battles. Honorable mention here to some Pokemon, Crustle, because it destroys all the ice. This Pokemon, which I don't care about. I don't know why I have it in honorable mention. This Pokemon, because Bloody Bananas told me that it's good. Mew is good in this cup. Caracosta is too good if you can align it versus ice, because you can farm all the ice all the way down by shielding once, and then you farm them by, I think it has Rock Throw. Articuno, don't run it. No, it doesn't even deserve the honorable mention. Let me delete it. That thing doesn't deserve it. This Pokemon, Luxray, I actually lost to one of them once because it's so spammy and you cannot tell the charge move. And whenever they get a Poison Fang debuff, the psychic move, the Psychic Fang debuff just become very risky to no shield after. Shadow Machamp can just do Shadow Machamp things. Airgrab is being a rock type that is always good to use whenever you can use because it's very spammy. It has some decent bulk and can dish out some decent damage. Cradily is just a bad Airgrab. That's the end of the video. Special thank to Go Battle Log for giving me access to their teams. PvPoke. There is like so much stuff I would like to say about PvPoke, but you guys all familiar with PvPoke. Check their websites. They have lots of fun stuff. You can do whatever you want on PvPoke. You can build any team you want by checking their team builder. You can check the top teams, the top Pokemons that are being used in every cup. And YTX Pikachu for giving me access to Go Battle Log. So, you know, it's like a circle. This person introduced me to this person, to this person, right? And that's the end of the video. Make sure to check my Twitter at Elite_Yasser, Twitch TV, my Twitch live stream at twitch.tv/YasserElite. I do stream most of the weekdays at 3 p.m. Central Time, weekends at 2 p.m. Central Time. And if you're looking for coaching, I have 4 slots open for coaching, and I believe I do coach. You get access to two coaching sessions per month. If you're looking for coaching, make sure to check my Patreon account. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Peace.